Hello and welcome to this video on extending property rights. So in this video we're going to look at what is meant by extending property rights and how this approach might correct market failure. So the market failure that we're going to talk about here is pollution or using a resource unsustainably. So here we have a dirty power station and it's polluting the environment. It's doing damage to the environment. And what's the problem here? Well, it's polluting the air, the sky. Because no one owns the sky or the air, it's doing damage to it and we can't do anything about it. Likewise, here is a business polluting a river. But who owns the river? Are we damaging anybody's property? Well, not really. So it's hard to make the firm stop if we can't decide who is being damaged. So what we might do to solve this problem is extend property rights. And that occurs when the government allocate ownership of a resource to a particular organisation. So for example, ownership of that particular part of the sky or ownership of that particular river. The idea is that these organisations, if they own this particular resource, can determine who uses these resources, what uses these resources, and what rights others have over using them. So they can ensure that the resource is managed in a sustainable way and the resource continues to exist. They can do this by limiting its use or charging for its use. And in this way, a more socially desirable output or allocation can be achieved. So property rights correct market failure. If property rights are extended, the owner can determine what is done with that resource. Let's have a look at an example. Here we have a problem of pollution from a local factory, and the pollution is coming out of the chimney and it's coming into the air, but because no one owns the air, it's hard for us to charge them or use the legal system to say, you're damaging the environment. But if we extend property rights and, for example, we say not only do you own your house, but you own the air above your house, if the pollution creeps into your airspace, then the factory would become liable for the damage caused. They are damaging your property, which is the air above your house. At this point, we can then sue the factory or take them to court to get them to stop doing the pollution, and we reduce the level of pollution, and so the market failure has been corrected. Let's consider another example. Here we have someone fishing away in a lake, but because no one owns the lake, we might say they're going to overfish. Everyone will be out there on their boats, we'll be fishing away, and we will use this resource unsustainably. How might we solve this problem? Well, what's the problem here? We have the negative externality of overfishing. How might property rights solve this problem? Well, we could create a lake authority who own the lake. How would this solve the market failure? The lake authority could set a limit for the number of fish caught in a day to prevent overfishing and prevent the market failure. So in this video, we've looked at what is meant by extending property rights, and we've looked at how this approach can correct market failure. That's it. Thank you very much for listening.